Another provocation now that is coming in. Now, this time is from China to Taiwan. Not the first time, of course. China now has launched, again, some large-scale military drills around Taiwan, accusing its leaders of being separatists and parasites who are pushing the democratically run island into war. Now, the drills, accompanied by a propaganda campaign, were launched without warning Tuesday morning. China's People's Liberation Army says that there was a stern warning to Taiwan's democratically elected government over what Beijing claims is a separatist activity. So, in fact, China has encircled Taiwan with its jets, with its warships, and we have, in fact, a special guest joining us on the same. We have Einar Tangen, who is a political analyst live from Beijing. Mr. Tangen, thank you so much for joining us on Republic TV. Well, we see China has surrounded Taiwan in this military drill that is called Closing In, and it has also called the president a parasite and has issued a warning again. If you could shed more light on that.
Okay, so I think we have to step back a little bit and just kind of look at about 6 days ago when Li came out and he called Beijing a, quote, foreign hostile force. This has a very specific meaning. It's a phrase from the 2020 Anti-Infiltration Act. The phrase, according to the wording of the act, applies to, quote, countries, political entities, or groups that are at war or engaged in a military standoff with the Republic of China, which is Taiwan, or advocate the use of non-peaceful means for their own purposes. So that started things off. It seems that Li is gambling. There's a lot of uncertainty about what's going on with Donald Trump. And especially because he's attacked Taiwan for, quote, stealing the chip industry from the United States. And he's also complained that Taiwan needs to spend at least 10% of their GDP on, not GDP, of their budget, government budget, on defense. So at this point, it's very, very difficult to see what Li is gambling with. If he's thinking that somehow Donald Trump will feel sorry for Taiwan or use it as some sort of proxy in a conflict with China, this is what China is responding to. They're basically making it clear that they can surround and take Taiwan if there is any move to make Taiwan independent or to start a military action.
Right. It's also, testing US's resolve, because we saw that how US and Japan had been coming together, and that too has somewhere threatened Beijing, sir?
I'm sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties. Could you repeat the question?
No, I'm saying that you mentioned about America, you mentioned about Donald Trump, but the US also held, tried to boost ties with Japan to deter the Chinese. You feel that this is in response to that as well?
Yes, this is all part of a containment strategy that began basically with Donald Trump, was continued on by Biden, and Trump is going after it again. You'll note that he's trying to deal with Russia over Ukraine, which would free up American forces and resources to concentrate on Asia. There is a feeling on the campaign trail, he made it very clear that his desire was to split Russia and China. And more lately, it seems he wants to make some sort of grand bargain where he would create spheres of influence. It's not, I don't think that it'll actually work, but he's somebody who likes to have a number of different options. He's not ideological, but he is concerned that China is a peer competitor, therefore a threat to U.S. hegemony.
Right. Right. So you feel that this is only a military drill. Of course, this is a message that is being sent out very strongly by Beijing. But because there have been a lot of speculations as to what plans do the Chinese have in future now with regard to Taiwan. So if you could, shed some light on that.
Is your question about military options that
Yes.
China would have?
Strategic military options, yes, whatever is on the table.
Well, yes, China is, they made it very clear, I think they understand that if they were to use armed force without provocation, to take Taiwan, that this would be a public relations disaster. All the things that the U.S. has always said about China, people would say, okay, well, maybe it's true. Right now, China doesn't have to do much. Donald Trump is manufacturing a charm offensive for China because he's simply being so unreliable and difficult, putting tariffs on everybody and threatening to take different countries. In terms of China, yes, they could overwhelm Taiwan very easily. There's only a week's worth of fresh food if there is, in fact, a blockade. They'd run out of fresh food in 1 week. They'd run out of energy in less than that. It would literally be reduced to a starving population without energy in order to sustain itself. So it's not really an option that Beijing wants to push. These are, in fact, Chinese. So they're not looking to punish anybody. This is something where they want a peaceful reunification.
Right. Right, Mr. Tangen, thank you so much for joining us with your thoughts and your views on this story. We shift our